Our biggest takeaways from
Foxborough Supercross.
All right, dog. I think the biggest takeaway for the 250 class, the championship is wide open, bro.
I feel like technically, yes, right? Obviously, double red plate, which I did predict a double red plate. Wrong class, but hey, you know, I get half point for that one.
No, you don't.
Double red plate, top five separated by what, like 8 points or 10 points or something crazy. I still think it's Seth Hammy's championship to win or lose. Probably win, to be honest.
Yeah, so Seth Hammaker and Tom Vialle now have 99 points, so they're tied. RJ Hampshire gained points in that race. I don't know how, especially after that start. I don't know how. He's only 2 points back. I thought he was 3 points back. He's only 2 points back. Chance Hymas is 8 points back. And then Nate Thrasher is 18 points back, if I can do math right.
Okay, so top four separated by less than 10. It's crazy.
Yeah, so dude, it's wide open. Anybody, and you got to think about two East-West showdowns coming up. So that can change this championship around drastically. At one point, I thought Tom Vialle had it, bro, like in that race.
I thought so too. I thought in that race it was going to be Tom Vialle was going to finish like third. Everyone else was going to be down horrendous. And then Tom Vialle was just going to extend again. And it was going to be kind of GG's. And then he went P22. But as wide open as it feels, I think there's only been one guy that's been like dominant. Now, we're going to start the mutter talk already here, chat. It's Monday when we're recording this, but the forecast for Philly is looking pretty grim.
The only thing I can say that's going to help it is it's a day race. So that might help our case. Because, like, for example, at Foxborough, if they would have started the program early, I don't think it would have been that bad, right? Because, like, the qualifying sessions, yeah, they were kind of iffy, but the night show is what made it horrible, right? But if they just started the program at Foxborough a few hours ahead of time, I think it would have actually been pretty decent. But just keep that in mind for Philly this weekend because it is a day race, right? So
yeah, it's an East-West day race, potential mutter.
This championship could be wide open again, bro.
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, I think if it was dry here on out, I would put everything on Seth.
Yeah, I think so too. Especially now that gap is gone for Tommy V, right? He lost a 10-point gap, right? So for Seth there, 13-point gap or whatever it was, right? So kind of crazy. Okay, but what about the 450 takeaway for you?
Webb is just that guy, you know? Jumping the finish line on like the last lap, somehow like Webb looked so mid. And then like they showed Webb a couple times in the broadcast, which broadcast was questionable at best. But they showed Webb a couple times, and I thought Buddy's bike was broke. He was going so slow, you know, like he's just like barely rolling over everything. And I thought he was cooked, and Sexton was going to make up a bunch of points, and it was going to be this. And then all of a sudden, third. He's that guy. And I'm not. Rest of the year, I'm not doubting him. Rest of the year, I'm not doubting him. Any conditions, I'm not doubting him.
I think I have to too, dude, and I hate it. I hate it,
bro. You cannot doubt him at all. Like no matter what the conditions are, like you might be going 3-time here, brother.
Dude, when I was watching the broadcast and like they showed the clip of Cooper Webb crashing, I was like, deep down in my heart, I was like, let's go, right? I was like so happy because obviously Chase Glazer here, so I wanted Chase to win,
big time. And
then they showed Chase passing the boy Shane, and I was like, oh my God, that's second place. Let's go, KTM 1-2. Like, I don't care about first because AP's on the lead. He's winning that, right?
I cared about first.
Yeah, well, yeah, but I'm saying, like, there's no point of Chase going after that. Sure. He's not catching AP, right?
First, yeah.
And then he freaking, whatever happens, he lost balance on the finish line landing and gets stuck there for, like, God knows how long, and everybody passed him. And I'm like, you can't make this up, bro. You just can't make up Chase doing something crazy in that. Obviously, the track is crazy, but like, I'm like, bro, you had second place there, and that could have changed everything.
I was gonna say, in Chase's defense, the only person that didn't make a mistake was AP. I mean, and Shane, like, fat dude. Shane's heat race, Buddy put on a clinic, like absolutely bodied everybody. But I would never have expected Webb to do that good in a mud race ever. And yeah, I don't think you can really you can't bet against him at all the rest of the year.
Yeah, I messaged the boy Doc and I said, I'm saying Chase is flopping every race, so it just jinxes it. Like, I don't know what I got to do to make it happen, but we're going with Webb.
Dude, I'm thinking like low key. So Chase is the fastest guy, right? Like everyone going into the season, even with Tomac and Jet, Chase was qualifying high. Maybe Jet was always a little bit faster, but Chase is fast, right? Dude, Webb has proved that he can run his pace in like any condition, even when it's just a sprint. When Chase is ahead of him, Webb can reel him in. Dude, I don't know. I think if the season was as full as everyone thought he was gonna be with, you know, Hunter and Jed and Tomac, Webb still might be doing this. Tomac would have won, but Webb still might be doing this. You know what I mean? Like,
no, 100%, 100%.
It's crazy.
And like the crazy part too,
no gifts. So he was the only one jumping the finish line, and I think that was like in those conditions, that was probably like 30 seconds, like 20 seconds.
100%. At least.
They creep up it, right, and then go real slow down. And it was super ruddy. Like jumping the finish line alone could have been half of that time he was making up.
Okay, so now going into our biggest surprise of the weekend for the 450 class. I think it has to be Ken Roczen. We'll get into some of the other guys that kind of had huge surprises for our later categories here. But I think it's Ken Roczen because his shoulder injury. We found out he has an ankle injury now. And somehow he still managed to get fourth. Obviously, he could have got third too. So like him going through all of that torture of his body in that race and still ending up getting fourth is impressive and a huge surprise to me. Because I didn't think he was going to do that great because of the mud, because of his injuries, right? And he still managed a way to get top four.
I expect Kenny to do well in mud, especially even with the injuries. To be honest, I feel like maybe it's less impact. Like it's harder in some ways because you're just constantly fighting, but probably less difficult in other ways for his body. Maybe not. Maybe I'm absolutely off my rocker here. I'm gonna double up here though and say that I can't say anyone was as impressive or surprised me the most as Shane McElrath.
I agree. He went crazy, bro. Heat race, main event.
Like looked incredible. And I did, you know, as soon as AP got around though, I was like, GG's brother. Nobody's keeping up with the boy. You know?
I think AP at one point had like 30, right? 30-second lead at one point.
Yeah, he was gone. I mean, we don't know because I couldn't see it because they didn't show it, but 3 times the whole race.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. Yeah, it was very, very bad. But
anyway,
like Shane had a great ride. I think Kenny had a great ride, and we'll get into Shane for a little bit here in a little bit with one of our categories. So stay tuned for that. Also, make sure you guys hit the like and sub button if you guys enjoy these videos. But let's talk about the 250 biggest surprise, and it has to be Dayton Briggs. Like shout out to the boy, qualified P2. I don't care if he was in Group C. Okay, when the track was great, I don't care. Qualified second. Yeah. At one point, I was like, does that time even make it top 20? And then we saw the A guys go, and I'm like, oh, yeah, he's fine. He's chilling.
Yeah.
And then, what was it, P3 in the heat? I think it was.
Yeah. He was second for most and then fell back a little bit at the very end.
And then pulled hole shot, leading the main event for 2 laps. Dude, that was the craziest moment. And for me personally, because I know Dayton, and like we sponsored him, and I'm like seeing him out there do that. I'm like, let's freaking go, bro.
Yeah, it was super impressive. Like his starts were dialed, you know, obviously, because he got 2 great starts. You would expect someone first Supercross race, amateur, kind of nobody really knows. If you don't know social media, like you don't know who he is, just like a random privateer kid. You would expect him to, like, if he rips a good start, first of all, it would be a one-off. He wouldn't be able to do back-to-back good starts. Rips a second good start in the main and then is leading, and you would expect him to like really fade quickly. Even in those conditions, I think that someone with like Chance Hymas's skill, everyone knows he's better, or factory guy, right? I mean, I think Dayton doesn't go down. I think he podiums or wins that race.
100% he podiums, at least podiums. Like the crazy part about it for me too is Dayton's from California, bro. When was the last time you saw like mud like that in Cali, bro? And him doing that, and like, I swear, if he doesn't tip over in that corner, he's maybe not battling. You can't really battle in that track, but like, definitely top 2, I think, because he had a pretty good gap to like say even chance or third place.
Right. Like all it takes is him not to tip over and then chance to get stuck. Right. And then as soon as there's like a 10, because he knows he's right behind him, as soon as you know you've got a big gap, then you can like, your heart rate goes down, right? You can be a little bit more thoughtful with what you're doing. And I think he manages whatever that gap was. And like, dude, imagine how insane that would have been.
Bro, it would have been crazy, dude, bro.
I've been following Dayton for a long time. I know you have too. And at first, I'll be honest, Dayton, I wasn't sure, right? Like, I might have been not a hater, right? But like a little skeptical, just, another TikTok kid doing stuff. And I've grown to really like him. But I've also seen how much negativity he's got for years he's been pursuing this and he believes, and everyone, man, he gets a lot of negativity and people hating on him, and it's really, really cool to see him just prove himself. And like, it's got to just feel really rewarding for him. And I hope that it's just the beginning.
And yeah, 100%. Everything he just said. Besides, I've been a fan since day one. Okay.
I wasn't like not a fan. I just was a little like, okay, here's what happened. I saw him at A1. Okay, and he had some, I don't know, he had a little posse with him, and I was like, all right, bro, what's going on here? Anyway, he also didn't know who I was, so I was offended. So maybe it's just my own pride.
What's crazy, too, for that main event, he led almost 3 laps. The main event was 6 laps total. Like, he had a legit shot, which is crazy. So, yeah, definitely a huge surprise. Shout out to the boy Dayton, man. Awesome to see that. Now, I have 2 thoughts on this. One, will he be in Group A now for qualifying? Like, I don't know how that works. Like, I don't know. Well, East-West Showdown, I also don't know how that works. Right? And then for the second takeaway is, will he be able to at least back up his somewhat performance there and make another night show, make a main event and stuff like that? Obviously, it's a mud race, right? I know all this. It's a mud race. But I still think he can definitely do it. So I want to see those 2 things come to fruition. So,
yeah, agreed.
Now moving on to a biggest letdown, and let's continue with the 250s here. It has to be Tom Vialle. It has to be Tommy V. I am gutted for him because he had a great ride going, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, he was in last place. Like I didn't even notice until like they crossed the finish lines. Like if we saw my reactions, everybody saw the reactions. I was actually dumbfounded because I couldn't believe he was in last place.
I didn't even realize because I waited until like once Chance won, I got up from my TV and I left. And when I came back, they were showing the points and it was like tied. I was like, wait, what? And I had to rewind it and be like, wait, that doesn't make any sense. And I rewound it. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it sucks for him.
As a points leader, that's the last thing that you want to happen. Thankfully, he did have a big points gap and he's not down horrendously.
I just don't understand. How did he get 22nd? Like nobody else DNF'd?
Yeah, I don't know. Guess not.
That's that's crazy because as they're going around, there's people upside down, their bikes stuck with their handlebars in the ground, like nobody else DNF'd.
The crazy part about it too is it was on the last lap.
That's what I mean.
Like, I don't know. Like if he got lapped, which he most likely did, like he would have been in 15th and then they would have finished, right?
Right.
So like
that's what I'm saying. Like he got dead last. He wasn't ahead of anybody. Every single person finished the race.
He didn't pass anybody, lap anybody in those first 3 laps. Like
I feel like there's no way he crashes on the last lap and not a single other person DNF'd in that time. Like, dude, they're pulling bikes out with bobcats, like, I don't know.
But I think the biggest letdown for 450s got to be, for me personally, Chase Sexton.
Yeah.
Like I mentioned earlier, he had second place in the bag, kind of stalled it, lost balance. And then at the very end, he goes from 3rd to freaking, or what was it? Yeah, 3rd or 4th, I guess, to 6th. And yeah, just huge letdown because he could have made up so many points. Because like, for example, if he gets into 2nd, you don't know Cooper Webb's going to get back into 3rd, right? Because that's not a spot that he's going to get from Chase, right? What happens with Barsha? What happens with Roxanne? Now Webb in there too, like with Shane too. Like what happens with Shane now? And so everything could have changed drastically if he would have stayed in second, but he didn't, and he got down to 6.
And he also had the speed. You know, he showed in his heat, like he's not bad in the mud. So it's not like my mindset for Chase wasn't like my mindset for Webb going in was like, oh man, if he like gets a top 5, I'll be impressed if it's a mudder, you know? Sexton, was like, oh man, hope AP gaps him, you know, because hopefully Sexton's not, you know, right there.
I said on the watch party that Chase might be a better mud rider than AP, and I want to take that back. So.
Okay, buddy. Listen.
Hey, dude, look at the heat race. He was flying. Look at qualifying. He was good. Look at last year in the mud at San Francisco. He was good. He was going.
In history.
Maybe, but yeah, I want to take it back. I'll take it back. I'll take it all back.
All right. Listen. All right. We got to put a little cork in the glaze here. All right.
AP is the best mud rider. AP is the best mud rider.
Ever. Okay.
I don't know about ever, but
it's not even close. He's the GOAT.
You know who had, I think, one of the best rides of the night, though? Besides AP, obviously is AP. He deserves that great performance. Shane McElrath, bro. Dominated that heat race. Amazing in the main event. I mean, amazing. Did he go, like, maybe you've talked to him. I haven't seen anything. I don't think he crashed. Like,
I haven't asked him, but
I think he stalled. I don't think so either. I think he stalled because when Chase got by him, he was on the lip. But that also could have been a lapper in front of him that went down, and he had nowhere to go, so he maybe just waited. So I don't know.
There's someone posted. It was a privateer.
Kevin Moran's crazy. Right next to him. That could have been it too, honestly.
All right. So where they got into each other, but they didn't. I mean, Shane didn't go down. Moran's did.
Yeah, unfortunately. Shout to Kevin. But that could have been it too, where like Kevin went down in front of him, and then Chase got by him, but Shane didn't actually crash, right? But yeah, you have to give it to Shane, bro. That's his first ever heat race, right? Win?
Heat race win. And
is that his first ever podium?
Yep, 450 podium. Yeah.
That's crazy, bro. That's awesome.
Yeah, he's riding good, dude. And I'm pretty sure this like his ride this year, I don't know this. I'm just remembering what I heard on the TV broadcast from earlier. I'm pretty sure it was like a short deal. Like, let's see how the first few rounds do, and then we'll see kind of a thing. And so now he's got a podium on there. He's barking. He's getting top 10s, you know. Love to see that.
Yeah, he's doing, and you know what's very impressive to see too is his starts. His starts have been a huge factor of why he's doing so well. So if he can keep that up, he can do really well going forward.
Bro was playing Speedway Simulator in the 450, the main. Dude, he ripped the start and then was like completely sideways looking underneath the handlebars, you know, around the first corner. My gosh.
But yeah, Shane rode amazing. But our 250 best ride, I think you have to go 2 people here. One is Chance Hymas, first ever podium and first ever career. But that's also like something that you kind of expect, like from Chance, getting a podium and getting a win eventually. But also just amazing ride by him. But then a guy that crashed in the start with RJ Hampshire, picking up his bike and somehow getting into 3rd place, and that is Gage Linville. I don't know how he did that. I was looking at the lap time. First lap, 18th. 3rd lap, 4th. I'm like,
we love that for him. Probably
that's
didn't crash.
Crazy. That's like, crazy.
I wonder if you just like literally quarter throttle, walk with your feet around the whole track, like super slow. I wonder what place you get. Probably actually do pretty good. I feel like that's what Cooper Webb did. At
least top 10 at that point. If you just don't get stuck, you don't crash. You just, as Barsha said it, clutch, throttle, legs everywhere, you probably get a top 10. So also Colin Park too.
Yeah, I mean all the private, dude, it looked like a flipping LCQ.
Dude.
all the privateers were killing it, you know?
Okay, going into our best privateer rides though, for the 250s, there's got to be 3 of them for me. It's 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. That is Colin Park, Gage, and Justin Rodbell. Yeah, that's their best ever career finishes. It has to be them. They did amazing. And then for the 450 class, it's got to be Logan Leitzel, dude. 9th place.
Yeah.
I think that's the first privateer. Like, I'm saying first privateer in the aspect of not Shane
Like
McElrath.
not a satellite team.
Not Colt Nichols, not Benny Bloss, but Logan Leitzel. Like, that's a true privateer on a true privateer team. And yeah, he rode amazing 9th place. I don't know how he did it, but he beat DF, Justin, Malcolm, Christian Craig out there, Grant Harlan. Like, he beat a lot of good riders out there. But yeah, so those are our biggest takeaways in all the other categories that we have. Let us know what your biggest takeaway was in the comment section below, as well as your biggest flop in the comments. I want to see what some of you guys have. I think most of you guys are going to have the same ones as us, but let us know. Thank you guys so much for all the love on all of these videos, the reactions, this video, everything. So appreciate that. Be on the lookout for our rankings video tomorrow, and we're out. Peace.